without PM's vision. Through initiatives like Startup India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, our Prime Minister has continuously championed entrepreneurship and systematically solved hurdles. He has already dropped more than 25,000 compliances, which has helped significantly in ease of doing business. With startups and MSMEs driving the economy forward, our goal of 5 trillion economy doesn't look too distant now. For example, GST Council's recent decision on removing mandatory online registration requirement for small businesses will help in their further digitization. Not just Meesho, several other startups have benefited from PM Modi's forward-looking initiatives. Government has also floated 10,000 crore fund for helping in their funding requirements. About 3 years back, government dropped angel tax, which has helped a lot of young startups in being able to raise funds from angel investors. Initiatives like these are a good reflection of PM Modi's enthusiasm and passion about startups in India.
In MapIndia's personal story, he talks about startups, he talks about unicorns. As a result of many of his activities, MapIndia was also able to go public last year. Without this atmosphere that he has created of positivity, of economic progress, of a kind of a resurgent India, maybe we could not have gone public. So our sincere gratitude to him, just like so many other companies who have become unicorns, who have been able to go public. That's what I would love to communicate to people, that he's really a unique man, a unique leader who is carrying the country forward. The needs, the pains, and the hopes of all Indians. This is what makes him unique.
10 years ago in 2010, I was building a startup in electricity theft detection. I used to work with a lot of governments, and the atmosphere was completely different. Now, when you go to a Startup India or a Niti Aayog or Invest India or METI, you have folks such as, formerly Mr. Aayog or at METI. They are super progressive, super intelligent, completely in sync with the time, and just taking bold decisions and helping drive India ahead. So I think just surrounding yourself with amazing people is another quality which PM Modi showcases very, very clearly. And it's not just about the big vision statements, right? The semiconductor is the big vision statement, or 5 trillion economy is the big vision statement. It's also the smaller things.
Throughout our journey, one very important highlight was being nominated for Startup India Awards. While hearing his speech, I was just surprised when the Honorable Prime Minister mentioned my name and he gave a detailed, long feedback on the recommendations we put forward. I think that moment was truly a validation, not just for a startup like ours, but everyone who believed in the recommendations from the sector. His specific suggestions involved of startups similar to us working with schools and colleges, working on the different art and culture what our country has. And today we are very happy to share with you that we are working with more than 60 schools under a project called Fad Se Pad, which not only talks about the revival of the Fad art of Rajasthan, but also involves students and school teachers, including schools, working on various subject topics integrating into the Fad art. PM Modi is definitely the startup PM. I don't think I've ever seen a leader like him who would believe, because startups are all about stories, and someone who takes that effort in understanding the journeys, the real stories behind why startups are there and the value what the startups are creating. The energy of our Honorable Prime Minister is the kind of initiatives I keep seeing, irrespective of me being from a particular sector, but we keep getting emails and we know a lot of stuff is happening for various different sectors.
What we have seen in the Indian ecosystem, especially since the Prime Minister took charge and brought spotlight on Startup India, is something that is very, very monumental and something that is a key instrument in putting India on the startup map of the world today. When you look at my space, healthcare, a highly regulated industry, and startups are disrupting the way things were happening. Many different business models were being turned on its head. Digital health is taking off in a big way all over the world. And the Prime Minister has again shown leadership by making digital health the center stage of how healthcare policy is being done in the country today. Whether it is the Ayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission, the UHI, again, or telemedicine guidelines, a lot of positive steps that have been taken to move a sector that was stuck in a way of doing things and propelling it straight away into a position where I firmly believe that if we do it right, we continue down this path, India will not just be one of the followers or participants in the global digital health ecosystem. India will define the way the global digital health ecosystem will be created, and we entrepreneurs believe we have the confidence, we have the abilities, and we have all the support that we need that will take us there. So I think the vision that the Prime Minister set out for what an entrepreneur can build.
इसके अंदर में I had the opportunity to engage with Honorable Prime Minister couple of years back, 2 साल पहले, where we met to discuss about tourism and travel के अंदर में क्या opportunities हो सकती हैं. I got, I think, 15 minutes of time. True to the fact, meeting started 1 minute before time. Meeting went a few minutes ahead, but that 15 to 20 minutes was undivided discussion on travel and tourism. It felt to me as the Prime Minister understands and thinks about travel and tourism only, even though I know that he has probably 1,000 other things to deal with. So very deep ability to have attention and not just macro conversation, right? Generally आपको लगेगा कि if he is the Prime Minister of the world's second biggest country and the world's largest democracy, he would only be thinking 30,000 feet above, but he can have discussions which are right down at the absolute ground level. And I think this ability of having massive depth and then massive breadth, I always say looking with telescope and microscope at the same time. I think that makes our Honorable Prime Minister, I have told this a few times, he is truly a startup Prime Minister. He has many attributes of an entrepreneur, right? He thinks big in terms of impact, but before doing so, he experiments that at a small scale. His ability of being able to look at large scale initiatives, but then tracking its execution very closely. So, just for example, why, Startup India is one enabler, but it doesn't happen like 100 unicorns don't get created out of one initiative, right? So there were quite a few things, all had to come together for us to be here. And I can tell you that the world and even Indian own entrepreneurial ecosystem and our talent is in surprise about how have we been able to get there. I mentioned to Honorable Prime Minister that my mother for the longest time thought that pursuing entrepreneurship was a bad decision.